sure there'll be more developments on that story, and of course quite a dramatic story ahead of tomorrow's inauguration. Other news related to the political changes we're seeing now. The KwaZulu-Natal Premier, the IFP's Thami Ntuli, announcing a 10-member provincial cabinet for the 7th Government of Provincial Unity. Ntuli retaining only 3 MECs from the last administration. Siboniso Duma, who's also the leader of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. He heads Transport and Human Settlement. Nomagugu Simelane stays in the Department of Health. Siphosihle Hlomuka stays as MEC for Education. The kingmaker, the National Freedom Party, stays with the Social Development Portfolio. Newzroom Africa's Ntando Mnyandu caught up with the NFP Provincial Chair Mbali Shinga.
After taking his oath of office, the newly inaugurated Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Thami Ntuli, spent most of his time, talking about how he will hit the ground running together with his cabinet, which is made up of 10 MECs. What is noticeable is that the Department of Community Liaison, he says he has inherited it into his own office of the Premier. But with me, I have a lady that we might call a kingmaker with that deciding vote from the NFP, who is, has been appointed as the MEC for Social Development in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, which is Mbali Shinga. Mama Shinga, thank you very much for your time. Let's talk about that deciding vote that you decided to give this block of parties that constitute the government of provincial unity.
Yes, it will be known that from 2011, since the inception of the NFP, we have always, at the provincial level, even at local municipalities, had that kingmaker status. But we are grateful to the voters, our supporters, the leaders in KwaZulu-Natal for trusting NFP with their vote. We were somehow disappointed with how we were progressing when IEC was busy calculating, but at the end we got this one seat, and then it turns out it had to decide who rules the province.
You've been appointed to one of the most critical portfolios, which is social development here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. What is your outlook to the appointment? How have you received the news, and what becomes your immediate point of departure in terms of executing your duties as entrusted by the Premier Thami Ntuli?
I am really humbled by the appointment today, and realize the huge responsibility on my shoulders. But then, as the National Freedom Party, our policies, our non-negotiable policy is issues on women development and women involvement in leadership, and also taking services to the people in rural areas. So the first and foremost thing with the Department of Social Development will be to be involved with the programs. We will ensure that the NGOs and CBOs who are doing great work out there are supported by the department, but not only in terms of funding only, but we will follow the money to give them support to see where they are lacking or even where they need extra help. But secondly, you will know with the province of KwaZulu-Natal in terms of gender-based violence, it is sky high. We will look at those issues and we will take them head on to make sure that women are protected. But also where there are cases, we will put pressure to make sure that those are resolved. Children these days, they are killed, they are raped even at preschool level. We will make sure we look after the kids. But the other big thing is the issue of young people involved in drugs. As the department, we will ensure that we look into that, because the challenge now that the communities are complaining about is that the rehab centers are inaccessible. Like others, they charge a fee and they don't have money to pay. So those are the programs really that we will take head on to see that the department reaches out to the marginalized and vulnerable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that is Mbali Shinga, chairperson of the National Freedom Party here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, saying that the portfolio that she is heading, she will not only dish out money, but they will follow the money, also fighting social ills like drug abuse in communities and ensuring that NGOs are given necessary support that they deserve.